Okay, so recently Apple just dropped the new Apple TV 4K, and when I was about to connect it to my setup, I realized that just plugging it into this wasn't gonna do a whole lot. Like, I've had this setup for a couple of years now, and it's always been uninspiring. It's been pretty boring, so I wanted to change that. So that's why I'm partnering up with Lytmi, who sponsored today's video, to transform this setup from what I've known to something completely different and the most immersive experience you could have. All right, we've got some work to do. I'm super excited. Let's get started. So here it is, the new Apple TV 4K. The packaging's actually been completely redesigned, and I did opt for the 128GB Wi-Fi plus Ethernet model. On the back here, you've got some details about what it supports, and of course, the pull tabs that Apple's put on everything recently. Jumping inside, you are greeted with the Apple TV right away on top, and immediately, like the second I touched it, I just noticed how light it was. I've got a 2015 model that I'm upgrading from that was just the HD version, and this is significantly lighter and even a little smaller. We'll jump back to the TV in a second, but below that you have the power cable, some random quick start information, and of course the new remote that originally got redesigned last year, but now has USB-C. I can't believe this. There's a USB-C port on this remote finally. Back to the Apple TV though, there's some plastic to wrap off the sides here, as well as a bit on the bottom. And now we are ready to continue with the setup process, which being an Apple product is ridiculously easy. It automatically connects to your phone, it syncs up with your Apple ID and everything with only a couple of taps. It really did not take long at all. And I actually had a nice little space in my entertainment center to put this already, so it was essentially seamless. All right, so now that the core, the Apple TV is set up and ready to go, let's jump into the second part of this overhaul, which is the new Fantasy Plus kit from Lytmi. The first of three products you get in that is the Lytmi Neo HDMI 2.0 TV kit, which includes the essentials for getting your TV set up with a new immersive experience. You've obviously got the brain in here, which will make sure everything is synced up and in time. You're also getting, of course, the LED light strip to attach to your TV that is one single piece of LEDs, so you don't have to do connecting later, that has a self-adhesive tape. You just tear off the back and start putting it on your TV immediately. The application process was incredibly simple. You just wipe off your TV, start sticking it on there, and then plug it into the box, and immediately it lights up. This is literally the first step of Lytmi. Like, most places stop here, but we also have the light bars to install and the extra LED. So let's do the light bars next, which add an additional level of immersion I haven't seen from anywhere else. You get two light bars included in the box. There's also some stands that are included for either horizontal or vertical use, but I really like the vertical look, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my lights up that way. And just like the first product, they turn on right away, but now I wanna actually configure things because we haven't even jumped into the Lytmi app. So I downloaded that on my iPhone, set up an account, and it will discover the products immediately. You just connect them to your local Wi-Fi network so that you can actually get everything synced up. And just a few moments later after setup, you can now jump into all of the settings, which is a bunch of pre-selectable options, being able to sync it with your game or a TV show you're watching, as well as individual settings for the light bars. So it got darker in the last couple minutes, and I just want to give you guys a preview of what things look like already. But that's just this part of the room. Now I want to go ahead and add some lights to the couch. The Smart Light Strip Basic Kit is what you would expect. It's a white LED strip that connects to the Lytmi app just like everything else. And I thought it would be really cool if I put it on my couch. Just like the other LED strip, it was self-adhesive, so it was incredibly easy. I hooked it up to the app. And guys, I'm ready to finally show you the final product now. I went from changing my setup that looked like this, pretty boring, pretty bland, pretty simple, to a completely revamped RGB setup that can be customized to any color I want and synced up with TV shows I'm watching or games that I'm playing, and of course, while I'm just using my Apple TV. Everything adjusts in real time when you're watching content for the most immersive experience. I genuinely didn't feel like I was sitting in my living room anywhere. It felt like I was in the middle of something much cooler than just my house. And all of this is fully customizable in the Lytmi app. For the lights on the TV, there are some really cool options. You've got rainbow, which as you can see just slowly rotates through a bunch of different colors. You've also got fire, which is super satisfying, that genuinely makes it look like there's a fireplace behind your TV. Now, the core of the setup, of course, is the Apple TV 4K. And it's my first Apple TV that I've actually spent a serious amount of time with in years. And it feels just like my old Apple TV 4K. Like, the remote is obviously significantly better, and there's a crazy fast A15 chip that actually, from reports, does have a sizable impact on performance, even generation over generation. Fundamentally, it's still the same, and the actual most impactful part of my setup is the Lytmi lights. Like, that feels really different and unique and new, but the Apple TV is fine. It's cheaper than they used to be, which is amazing as well. It's just, I don't know. I was expecting to be a bit more impressed than I found myself being. But I think that's also because what the Apple TV does fundamentally, which is for streaming things, a lot of other things do pretty well at this point too. And while the interface on the Apple TV is by far the best, the software is really good, but I can watch Netflix and play games better on my PlayStation than an Apple TV. Now, there's a huge price difference, so that's not the most fair comparison. I'm just saying, like, for a cheap streaming box, the Apple TV is the nicest. It's still, I think, it's hard to justify. I gotta be honest. But you know, it's not hard to justify is Lytmi with the dope app, the insane integration, and the seamless experience between your streaming box, your console, and what you're viewing. You guys can get 10% off when you use my special code and link down below. Huge thank you to Lytmi for sponsoring this video and transforming my setup. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. I can't wait for my friends to see this. I think they're gonna freak out. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.